I've heard that life is what you make it. I say, make room to grow. I'm your host, LaWanda Dockery, and this is the Make Room to Grow podcast. It all started with a dream about growing food, and who would ever imagine that growing food would lead to me learning about personal growth and development? Well, it did, and I want to bring you along for this beautiful ride. Thank you so much for joining me. Hello, Grow Nation. I hope this finds you well. Looking forward to another day, another weekend out in the garden. Today, we're going to go a little bit of a different route than what we usually talk about. If you've been listening long enough, you know that part of my unofficial schooling for gardening has come from YouTube. I say that I went to YouTube University. And then, of course, what I'm doing in actual real time, I consider those to be my labs, my practical work. So in my studies on YouTube, one of the channels that I do watch is Deep South Homestead. And that is a couple, I believe they're in Mississippi. And every now and again, I like to check them out because they're more seasoned and they have a lot of wisdom. And, you, again, chew the meat, spit out the bones. I don't know if that's a great saying these days, but at least sometimes you have to hear what people have to say. And while I was listening to a latest episode, not the latest, but one of the most recent episodes, they spoke about a project out in Eastern Kentucky called AppHarvest, AppHarvest, AppHarvest. And what AppHarvest is a huge greenhouse out in Kentucky. The whole entire campus is 366 acres of a field, and the greenhouse itself is 60 acres by itself. One of the goals is to deliver or ship 45 million pounds of produce annually, mostly tomatoes, to grocery stores between Atlanta and New York. And I guess the location in Kentucky estimates that this will be a day's drive from almost 70% of American consumers who love fresh tomatoes. I'm taking this from a New York Times article entitled "A Greenhouse Large Enough to Feed the Eastern Seaboard," and that was published September 3rd of 2019. So it was a fairly new, I think 2-year-old startup at the time. We're now 2 years later, so it's that much bigger. And you will notice that this company, AppHarvest, is traded on the stock market. Now, I'm not a reporter, although I was trained in journalism in college. Never got my degree, but I was trained. And I'm not up here to espouse any conspiracy theories. I'm only saying that we are to understand the times and know what to do. So there's a scripture, 1 Chronicles 12:32, and I just like to read it to you. It says, "Of the sons of Issachar, men who understood the times with knowledge of what Israel should do." Okay, so this is the tribe of Issachar. They understood the times and they knew what to do. We have to understand the times and know what to do. I don't think that there's any coincidence that God would have me to take an interest in growing food at this time. If we can look around us, we'll see that the weather's been a little fickle. We can see that people are trying different methods and means of growing food. Yeah, there's been rumors of food shortages and all of that, whether unfounded or legitimate, we don't know at this point. But we can say that it will not hurt us to know how to grow our own food. If we see that there's a company out there who has invested this much into a greenhouse, number one, and is publicly traded on the stock market, number two, good, bad, and different, we need to take notice. Our ears need to perk up and our spirits need to lean in and discern what is it that we need to be doing. I say all that to say, get on board, get on this train. Learn what it is like to grow your own food. Learn what it's like to reap a harvest. Learn what it's like to taste something that is fresh and untampered with. Has not had chemicals sprayed on it, has not had all types of growth inhibitors and pesticides and things that we don't know what the outcome is if we put them into our bodies. Take your power back. Try growing your own food. Try this season. Start right now. Start this month. Go to the store today. Buy a pack of seeds, germinate it, and get your harvest. Take your power back into your own hands. Why do you think there are stores that they call whole paycheck out there just on the strength of them offering you good food, fresh food, clean food? Why do you think that there's such an opportunity? It's not by coincidence. So I just wanted to give you the information. You do with it what you will. I'm not picking a side on this. I'm just offering up the information that I think is going to arm us with knowledge to understand the times and to know what to do with it. I will continue to share what I'm learning. I'll continue to share as I go and grow and mature in this gardening thing and growing food. Everything that I'm learning, I'm willing to dump right back into you, pour right back into you so that you can pour into your family, so you can pour into your children, and we'll just keep the cycle going. All right, guys, until next time, I want you to think about those areas in your life where you are going to make room to grow.